It's great to be here at Droidcon, and thank you for joining today's session. At Bitrise, I work with customers to make their CI/CD setups run faster, and it's quite fun. And if you can reduce the build time by 20 minutes, that adds up to a cost savings of $600,000 per year. So now the question becomes, where can we save these 20 minutes, right? With Bitrise MCP server, what you can do is you can chat with the data and your builds in Bitrise from your favorite AI client. For example, how can I speed up my build? And I crystallize them into three. One, enable Gradle parallelization. Two, use caching, or in my case, Bitrise caching. Three, try split and or parallel workflows. Test build with the Gradle parallel flag. And I am using the DuckDuckGo open source project here to get some metrics around it. And I'm running the compile debug unit test Kotlin, which means I'm just compiling the unit test for now. See the time difference. It took 7 minutes for without parallel flag, and with parallel flags, it took only 6 minutes, 51 seconds. And this I ran on a Bitrise large machine with 8 vCPU and 32 GB of RAM. Let's try it on a bigger machine, which is a Bitrise Excel machine, which had 16 vCPU and 64 GB RAM. You can compare the timing here. It was 6 minutes, 51 seconds versus 3 minutes, 49 seconds here. So I tried with our largest machine, which has 48 vCPU and 192 GB RAM. So within Bitrise, we have the VM monitoring. I want to zoom in to load average for these three builds. Load one here shows the average number of processes that is being executed or waiting to execute in 1 minute period. There were more processes waiting to execute than the number of vCPUs available. Now let's take a look at the 16 vCPU. You can see that most of the processes executed below the availability level of 16 CPU. With the 48 vCPU, you can see that there was so much capacity to spare. So by choosing the right machine, we saved an additional 3 minutes. And this is just for unit tests. Now, multiply that by 3 because you will see the same gain for integration tests and for release builds. And the second idea that we had was to try to use Bitrise Cache. We have the Gradle dependency cache. We have the co-located Gradle remote build cache, and Gradle configuration cache. Workflow looks like to enable build cache for Gradle, you just have to add this step, and you can see these numbers. Let's deep dive into it. Again, this is with the DuckDuckGo project. You can see here that a remote build cache reduced build time by 35%. See what are the tools we have to drill down into the remote build cache performance. We have invocation details from where you can see how much was the cache hit rate. Then you can go further, drill down, and see the critical paths. These are analysis tools that you have. And finally, we have compare two different command executions. And there's one other point that I want to bring about the Bitrise build cache, remote build cache, is that it is co-located. It is located in the same data center as the CI runners, the CI machines. So you don't have to have an additional egress cost associated with using build cache. Build cache can be used locally as well. So the advantage is developer can speed up their builds by using the cache that is there in Bitrise remote build cache. Right. So with build cache, we reduce time by 2 minutes. Again, we multiply by 3 because build cache can be used for the integration tests and release build split/parallel workflows and test sharding. So let's take a look at those. You can see a substantial time gain with shards for integration test. It ran about 6 minutes faster with shards for integration tests. We are working on called distributed test execution, where you have dedicated auto-scaling workers meant for testing alone. Your workflows can be set up to run in parallel in multiple ways. And then you can use run-if conditions to selectively run these workflows. So with parallel workflows, we save 6 minutes, that is the integration test shards. So in total, we saved more than 20 minutes. With these optimizations, you can save substantial amount of time in your build. And with the calculator earlier, you can see that adds up when you look at over the year period. And the final topic that I want to look at is AI in CI. That is how you can run agentic AI steps on Bitrise. We have the AI code reviewer step, which if it is a pull request, it can review the code changes in files and post feedback to the Git PR as a comment. Another one that we have is the AI issue identifier. This can look, if there is an issue within the workflow, it can look at the code as well as the logs and suggest a solution. And this can be then sent over via Slack to your team so they can act on pretty quickly.